everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And today we're taking a look at WolfFlow's unaired underdog battles. Now, I think I only saw one or two from WolfFlow, and they absolutely were killer. Both of the girls that I saw, so I am very much looking forward to seeing the rest of the crew. I'm definitely intrigued on how fluent all of them are, not just the ones I saw. I will say so many of you have told me how mature and strong they are in the battle culture, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table here. So good news is they are uncut, so I get to see all of it. Downside is I only get to see the crew. I don't really get to see the battles themselves, so I can't really make a guess of who I think took it, but being super real, I think WolfFlow is one of the toughest competitors in this particular part of the competition that you could face, and I know some of our dancers that we saw knew that. You could tell based on how they were trying to go for it. So I'm looking forward to analyzing these and just having a look at it. So let's get started. Hollow. Okay. Have I seen Hollow yet? I don't know. I don't think I have. She got that old school flair about her. You just see how clean. I think just all that I've seen, all of their setups are clean. Woo! Wow. Okay, so going back, we'll just take a little look through this again. So just kind of take note. This is a prime example of what, if you've watched all of my group reactions up to this point, I want you to take note. She is really demonstrating what I'm talking about when I'm speaking about you can be more simplistic, but you are writing different parts of your rhythm, and you're also varying it in a way that overcompensates for that. Not overcompensates, it compensates appropriately for that. So she's hitting, or she's choosing to add different polyrhythmic bounces and rocks throughout a lot of more of the simple choices. You know, she's taking a really subtle approach to this da-da-da-da-da, and then something smooth, letting her head go too, and that also shows maturity in the craft, is whenever you don't have to be so glued forward too. That's a choreography thing too, if you didn't know this. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. Whenever you see somebody that is only projecting front, they're never really showing other focal points. That means that a lot of times they're subconsciously trained to be glued to the front versus actually being fluent in this style. And somebody who's really comfortable in the craft, they're going to make those choices, and it's going to look a little bit more familiar and artistic, and that's one indicator. And freestyle, it works the same way. Not being glued front, actually looking where you're going, actually allowing your head to help your audience figure out what you want them to see. So that's a big thing here, you know? So she's picking, you know, she go boom, da 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 boom, you know, she's still varying and she's hitting different angles throughout. But notice, like, instead of when she hit it again, she actually waved it through and create a more legato option. And everything that she's done, like, no, even that step back into that pistol squat, it's so clean, like it's on purpose. Like there's no misstep is what all of this feels like, and that just shows an astronomical amount of stuff here. But this right here, that right there, that little groove as she hits it out, like that's really interesting for people to do. Most of the time, choreographers or dancers are used to being choreographed a groove, or they like put their own groove in. But what she did is she integrated multiple grooves that a lot of times are you can replace a groove on a technique, but it just looks so seamless. Like she can kind of plug and chug, you know, like what is it? There's these different, you know, like Legos, you can kind of put on your own hat, or you can change the body of the Lego. She's just changing the body of the pocket of the groove that she's choosing without missing a beat. It is seamless. It is like switching languages like that. You know what I mean? It's being a polyglot, you know, like just being able to just seamlessly into your flow. And rappers are also, that's a good indicator of a fluent rapper. You know, that was nice on that kind of wordplay here. You know, and that Mel right there, she's still going, but she's smoothing it out. I think that was the most simple thing that I think she did. But she's making some great choices in her rhythm. So I would say that was a really, really strong run. And I do remember what she did. I think she hit her grooves pretty decently as well. But hers were more, both were fundamental in their own styles. However, hers felt more like textbook. And hers felt more integrated based on the culture in which you learn it from. And that's the kicker here too. Okay. I don't think I've seen her go yet. No, I've seen her go. I just haven't seen this one. Whoa. You should come with me, basically. Skip all the singing, let's get right tonight, mommy. I know my English ain't as modest as you like, but come, get some, you little bums. I take the cake from under the baker's thumb. I bake the cake, get two of them for one. Hey. Like I'm Oprah's son. I'll show you how to do this, son. Young no listen. Burberry patterns, fake Manolo. Yeah, she's utilizing all around. Yeah, that was strong. Okay, I remember seeing that one. But just kind of going back, her presence and how she carries herself, you notice it's a little bit different. Than how some of our other counterparts, when they come up to intimidate, what she does is she proves herself first and then she'll come up when she chooses. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference between a cub and a wolf. It's really what it feels like. Wolf flow. Hence that. I think that's where I got it. Got my fur, you know how it be. Just look at just that fluent nuance of just those heels and toes. That's filthy there. Hey. Come on, like that was nice. She dips through. A lot of switches of the feet. So she's making like really complex direction shifts with her legs, and that was really nice to see here because it caused her to travel and come back. But notice she didn't fall under herself. Like, she completely was in control of what she was doing, but she wasn't micromanaging it either, and that's a big thing here. She's allowing what happens to happen. Look at this progression just on the shoulders and just coming up. Like, there was no case of that not completing itself. Do you know what I mean? I think she may have just kind of faltered just a little bit here, just like looking here, coming up. Like, she loses her balance, but she plays that off so well, like that was on purpose. That shows maturity of craft. I love that. I love that she's doing a lot of these, box undercuts and jabs and crosses here. So that was fun. That was a nice little wordplay. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Over. Maintaining eye contact, sometimes vibing it out. Really great rocks here. It's still integrating that over the top and bottom. Do I wish it was slightly different? Maybe. But also, look, even right there, she's not doing it for too long. She did it just enough, and then she backs off, keeps her rock. Like, look at that. Boom, boom. Like, it's not cookie cutter, and it's not textbook. That's the groove and the flow of the transition she chose to do, and she's writing it out in her way. Like, this feels like her. You know what I mean? And that's a really difficult thing to cross that borderline between somebody who is, just doing movement and somebody who's dancing. Right? There is a difference between that, and I feel like a lot of these choreographers and dancers, they're able to dance in their choreography. They're not able to dance in freestyle. From personal attestment, it's really difficult to do when you don't understand the skill set. She's dancing. She's not just doing movement. And you can tell based on her patterns, based on her rhythm, her quality of movement, just how she finishes. She finishes when she wants to is what it feels like, I remember seeing that. That was a disgusting setup. I won't really dive too much into this one. Ooh, I love this set more than the one that we just saw because it just matches so well. Love that. I love the angle we got from the M-neck cut. Like, how she hits this is just so full, but it's not, like, it doesn't feel tiring. And I will say there's a lot of these kind of jabs that she likes to do too, that I wish that she just made different choices, maybe like undercut it versus just jabbing in front. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, she preps it a little too much for me. But I mean, here's the thing. I loved that so much more than her first one, but both were freaking great. You know what I'm saying? Like, both were awesome. I will attach in the description that battle analysis because I reacted to both of them and I chose a winner. I believe in that one I did choose, I chose her as the winner because her flow in comparison, and this girl was genuinely, I think it was Amy, right? She was genuinely like, oh crap, you know what I mean? Like, just, you can just tell, which was good. So I really like that one. Oh, we get to see her again! Wow, okay, let's see how she does. So she's hitting a pocket that's similar to Audrey. Audrey hit a pocket like that, but look, hers has more rebounds to it, and it's more of, she has more options that she gets to choose what she does. Woo! I love she's taking this kind of drunken legato groove approach to this and integrating it. Love the threading she did there. It matches the music so well. Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sheesh. Let's look at that one. Okay, so I did say I liked the one that she did to I don't know if it was Billie Eilish, right? Yeah.
Oh, I've got it over.
Anyway, but this one right here, this was really nice. She took a super like melty approach into it, and she picked when she was ready, and she didn't pop off like 100%. You know, I love how it still looks like her, but she's integrating a different technique because it's appropriate here, and that shows. That's how you can tell somebody who's very seasoned in this. You really can. Even if you guys didn't tell me just kind of the background of a little bit of the flow, I can just tell from how they dance and how they did their crew preview is exactly how I knew that this was gonna go this way. Love it. I just love her connections to things. And look, ready? So she hits, she goes around, she undercuts. She's showing, love that connection. That was cool. Then she goes right back into it. She uses the hand to kind of initiate it, which really helps. But look through this, like she hits through, she hits down, rides those bases, but she's hitting everything else. So she's truly a polyrhythmic dancer in her freestyle through and through, and that's also showcasing a different sense of maturity, of focus, and investment in the craft whenever you're freestyling, and your freestyle is polyrhythmic, not just your choreo. Now, is there choreo polyrhythmic? As of right now, some of it is, but I feel it is a little too simplistic, because a lot of what comes with freestyle is a lot of those impulsive, based on feeling, based on the skill set and how you trained, like in the moment pockets that you hit are different than choreographic pockets that you hit with multiple people. You know what I mean? So they have the opposite problem as everybody else in that room, which I'm curious, this is how they did great here. I'm curious how they did in all the other challenges, you know? Yeah, how she hit that was so nice though. Like, this is a prime example. I really feel like if Audrey really invested in freestyle more, she could kind of emulate a lot more of this kind of flow, because you notice she did a lot of these kinds of arms, she did a lot of the threading, a lot of these kind of patterns, and that melt legato with a lot of the ticking nuance was something we saw a lot from Audrey. So I think that's kind of a similarity. This is like the evolved form of what Audrey could be potential-wise. Yeah, but look at that, you know, just kind of that lankiness that she hits. How she finishes it was so good. She's held her own in every battle so far, and we've seen her. This is my 4th time seeing her, so I would say Waxy and Kirsten. I think Kirsten was the only person, honestly, that I think we saw this much. So I'm curious how she hits through this. So she was up against Pop.
Yeah.
God, she's so versatile. She still is hitting her rock and her bounce the way that she normally does. But do you see? Woo! I would say she did that shoulder turn again, but slightly different. But she is matching those who are hitting their fundamentals. Like, if you're hitting a grime, like, oh my gosh, guys. That was insane, because I do remember what Leah Kim was bringing to the table is a very, she brought a popping pocket. She matched her, and I think she one-upped Leah Kim in her pocket that she set. Different song though. Look at her pops. Ready? Look at this quality. She's about to pop off. Boom, boom. And then she's using, this is an example of what I meant whenever I was talking about Mannequin. I don't know if you've watched that one yet, but with Mannequin, with some of the dancers, like with Waxy and with Yoonji and, you know, and Sarah, it's like, I wanted to see Yoonji and Sarah really pop off in multiple battles. With Waxy, that was my big thing. I really want her, I feel like by her investing herself in multiple styles outside of just whacking, and I feel like she does, you know, like tutting and waving is a really good one. Like, she's really integrated in a lot of those styles that complement whacking. But I feel like this is a prime example of, there's a lot of styles, like with hip hop, popping really matches well with it. And also she took a really nice legato shift, like waving can help you with that, but also popping has the ticking and the strobing. So I feel like she's taking a fundamental approach to popping because that's what Leah set up, but she's one-upping Leah in her musicality and how she's integrating the authentic hip hop pocket. You know what I'm saying? Now, popping and hip hop are two different cultures and communities, but popping does stem from the style of popping does stem from the hip hop sound. So that's why they kind of get umbrella together. But this is just so, like, that right there, and she traveled it over, and that's what I'm talking about completing your waves and completing where you want it to go. Like, she's completing her stuff. Like, none of it looks like that whole connection was disgusting. You know what I'm saying? But not a single moment of that was, oh, where's it going? Like, you were able to follow it. Like, how were you able to follow it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't pinpoint exactly what she did, what dot was connected to make us make that make sense. But it made sense. And that's freestyle. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's complexity in freestyle where it's show-stopping freestyle. Now, your freestyle doesn't always have to be like that, but that is one heck of an example of, that's what I mean by when you're that was disgusting. The fold over underneath was so good. Like, golly, you know? And we have seen her do a sequence similar to that, but no, like how she frames it around it. Like, she's not doing fingerprint. Well, no, she's not doing sequence. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's going maybe a fingerprint that we've already seen here, but she's integrating it in a new way, in a new path, even though the song is similar. With this technique to help match up to Leah's standard of what she set, you know, but look, she's even doing, that's a Scarecrow variant groove that she had a legato pocket for. Disgusting. Oh my gosh. She hit it, and then she decided to rebound that. Good God. And how she like, whoom, whoom, and then melted out of it. Like, she nailed that pocket through and through. And I think, like, honestly, out of all the battles, you know, Leah set up a really strong popping battle, right? She was very strong in comparison to a lot of her other sets. Her popping was pretty good. But what she did was she took that, did it her way, elevated the difficulty, as well as elevated the complexity of the patterns, and threaded it through her caricature as a freestyler. That is phenomenal. That was amazing. I loved that one from her. That was so good. Okay. I don't know if I've seen her go. Okay. You can tell they're from the same crew. She's showcasing a lot of vibe and groove that looks very similar to who we just watched, which can work against you if you are somebody who's like being trained under somebody else. You still gotta find your own artistry through that. Yeah.
One.
Okay, so this is an example of she held her own totally fine. It was wonderful to watch, and I know we've already seen that one, but we will take a look at that. Notice, here's the thing. I do remember, I remember what she did in this. I will say hers was very, very, very strong. I would say chocolate. Yeah. So, what she did here, just kind of going through, setting it up, she sets it up really well, but I want you to notice, like, she does have that aesthetic. She has the groove, she has the bounce, she has the rock. However, it looks a bit more like, and not saying textbook, but I would saying a Wolflow textbook. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we just saw other Wolflow crew members go, at least in this context. I don't know at what point this was filmed. I don't know what all everybody had seen at that point. I don't know what the judges saw. I'm going off of, if I was a judge and I was seeing it in this order and I got to hear, I would say she is somebody who has read the Wolflow textbook of bounce, groove, and rock. And is it fabulous? Yes. Textbook grade, A+. Do I feel like I sense any artistry from her? Not really as much as I did from her counterparts. You know, do I think that she has great flow and can she battle? Yes, she can. That move in particular right there feels like a regurgitation of something that we've already seen, literally from the last set we just looked at. I think her movements are not as connecting as much as she could have connected them. But I will say, also note too, that people are going to give her a ton of grace in comparison to other crews, because what crew is she with? Wolflow. In the freestyle context. But if you're against anybody from Wolflow, when you know who you have up against, it's really difficult. Just like how people felt with, like, oh, I'm not going against Kirsten, but I'm going against somebody that's on the same crew as Kirsten. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. So you can't negate that in that sense of an intimidation factor, but also you have some people that feel that way about themselves. She's not connecting things nearly as well as her crewmates that I have seen. You know, I like her choices, though. I can tell that she's practiced in this realm because her flow is really good. You know, but I feel like she is repeating a little bit more of that kind of out pocket with her knees. I feel like she could definitely make, you know, I like that she incorporated his 3-2-1 into her final, like, finale of this. Do I think this was the strongest Wolflow member? No, I don't. I feel like she's definitely near the bottom tier. However, that tier is pretty high, and that was still a fabulous run in comparison to a lot of these other girls that have already went. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, like, everybody at Wolflow at this point that I have seen have been phenomenal as battlers, which is really hard that we notice. That's a really hard feat to do, but that could cost them later on in the competition. So I think we've already seen Meanie, right? Yeah, we've seen this one, but we're gonna see if there's anything that I missed. I'm actually experiencing a little bit of deja vu here. That was nice. Not deja vu like I've seen this, I have seen this before, but like just in the commentary side. Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. I like that she swooped her hair back here. She's not letting the music overtake her, which is a really tricky thing to navigate when you know, but that was really strong. I've already said this too. I've already reacted to that battle, so I will attach a link in the description for that. There's really nothing there that was different or that I didn't catch the first time, or that was cut that was like, oh, we need to talk about it. Overall, her flow held her own great. I think she understands how to battle. Her rematch was phenomenal. I will say that. I loved that. Okay. Here we go. I have not seen, was it Yenny Cho. Here we go. I have not seen her go yet. Let's see here. So she utilized the high kick too, because I know that's who that was. Ooh. Man, I like this. She's got she's writing it in a slightly different way than her crewmates, which I think is really good, but you can see the fingerprints of her crew embedded in her as well. Nice. She's got like this drunken dragon vibe about her. I don't know if it's because of what she's wearing or just the song and how she's choosing to go about it. Wow. Okay, so she was fabulous as well. This was awesome. I'm so glad I saved this one for last in filming. So if you don't know, this is the very last crew out of all the ones that I'm reacting to. So if the uploads of these are a little bit off, I'm sorry. This one is the last crew that I'm watching in the underdog battles. So you need to know that. So here we go. So this reminded me of like, you know, like the drunken martial arts, was it Bruce Lee, right? So this is what, it really reminded me of that and kind of her flow and how she chose to go about the song. I think the track really helped with that too. Like, look, just how she set it up wasn't so overbearing, but it matched so well. Like, you could tell I've started, right? She's making great connections here. That right there, that da-da-da-da-da-da, like she like chose when she wanted to place that. That was gross. That right here, so she goes da-da-da, and then she goes in kind of like a boxer bounce, kind of upper torso bounce here, which was so nice. Love the usage of her shirt as she dropped it down. That was so nice. And then she hit that same thing again, but it was not more of a focal point. It was just a transition. So I want you to note that I did catch that. Even this little bit here, just that seamless, that right there, that 6-step seamlessly into that attitude jump or that barrel jump. As she swung so far over. Like that's just, this was so nice how she like hits these pockets, how she hits these grooves. Yeah, that was really nice. And like, that was great. So far, I mean, every member that I've seen, strong. That was strong. Okay. Here we go. We get to see her again. Let's go. I think I've seen everybody, maybe, right? So we get to see her again. Yeah. This is her crew. Hold on. This is her crew. It says boom, boom, boom. And then, oh, I don't really see any others, but man, oh man. There they are, right? Yeah. I think it's this pretty simple setup here in comparison to what we saw. Kind of hitting similar cuts, upper and lower cuts. That was a nice choice. I think she wrote it out a little too long. I would like that swivel to come up. That was cool. You can tell she's trained in freestyle. Do I think she's as trained as her counterparts? No. So she's really vibing through, taking her time whenever she's choosing to. Yeah. Okay. So she chose, I'm sure that was it. Yeah. Okay. So she chose to, whenever she did that wave, she really wrote it out as much as, you know, you really could. I really think I saw more holes in this one than I did in her last set. Her last set was really nice. It was smooth, it was cool, it made sense. This one with the song, I mean, she did well with the song. Do I think it was more simple than what she's done? Yes. Like, look at that. Like, a lot of these, like, boom, boom, and boom, like, is very fundamental. It's hitting, like, your basic textbook. Not a Wolf Flow textbook, but, like, a textbook of this style. You know what I'm saying? Like, with choreography or, like, how you do top rocks and stuff. So she's, you know, how she's sitting or breaking, it kind of feels like she's committing to a type of a top rock and then she's backing off of it like a millisecond too late. And then it just feels like she's trying to go into another one. So I feel like she's trying to fit too much, but it's not working because it still looks simple. Do you know what I mean? Like, as she hits those, that was nice. I just think this was definitely, out of all the Wolf Flow sets I saw, this one is the simplest. That right there, I really feel like she had da-da-da-da-da, and she could have progressed it or done something to peel it up in some way. Made a different choice, right? This right here, the swivel, that was a really nice choice. So I will say she's definitely has practiced how to come out of weird angles, because that's a big thing that I myself struggle with, is not only getting into an angle, but like figuring out a way where it's cohesive to get out of it. For me, I struggle with maintaining flow and waving, where like I'm trying to go into a position and then like coming out of it and integrating the body without it cutting off my current wave that I'm doing. So I really empathize with that. I think she's definitely trained well into that. Yeah. But I just know though, like a lot of what she's hitting, like it looks really nice, trying to use, just kind of repeating this right here. She didn't technically finish that. So let me just look at that mighty briefly. She does something super slow. She goes slow, woo. But look, where does it go? Like she brings it here, but she doesn't wave it out. You know, normally like when you go, you wave it out and then you can wave it in. Like she keeps it here. Now, if she brought it back in, that would have been fine, but she started from the fingers again. And so that means that was an unfinished wave to me. I love how she finished that. When you hear that, do, she hit it with her feet the first time, and then she hit it with a wave the second time. So that was a really smart choice. Man, what a finale of the battles from season 2. Whew. I know we'll see battles again in the elimination, but I know it'll be a hot minute before we get there. But wowzers, that was awesome. I will say, yeah, Wolflow is the strongest crew right now with battles. Like, out of all the battles, I'd say Wolflow was the strongest in holding their own. Everybody, even, I would say that set I just watched was the weakest set, but even then it was strong. Do you know what I'm saying? I do feel like there were more holes in that set, but how she played them off, she can definitely hold her own against most people in that room. You know what I'm saying? So I would say all in all, I'm really glad I finished with Wolflow, because a lot of that was a genuine joy to watch. It was really good. And I love watching dancing, guys. It's just so fun. And I love the fact that I get to do it alongside you guys with the discussions and things. So that's super cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. I have been thoroughly enjoying the series, as well as tapping into season 1. Just being able to just get to know these dancers outside of just what I've heard about them, but getting to see like a first-hand experience integrated into what makes them who they are and why they got so popular, you know? So it's really been a great journey so far for me, and it is far from over, and I cannot wait to get into the discussions of all of these videos with you guys. It's gonna be great. I will catch you later. Bye.